All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews. We're back with more Expanse already. We are at season 1, episode 4, CQB. Yeah, I kind of had to watch the next episode after the end of the last one with Havelock getting spiked in the chest. So full spoilers, yeah, if you haven't seen the episode, CQB, if you haven't seen it, it means close quarters combat. And this is as straightforward as an episode as you can get. We really have only a couple of things going on outside of the main story, which is the battle on that ship where Holden and everybody is at. So let's just get to those real quick, and then we'll get to our main big plot. So our UN character, it's pretty simple. She's just sitting with her family. They're talking about, just has this little conversation with her grandson about people. She doesn't like people who throw rocks, and they have the thing with the falling stars, and things like that, and that it's like, something big, a rock big enough to destroy everything is like winning the lottery. It never happens. It's only once in a while and everything. That's really all I got for her. If I'm missing anything, somebody please point it out. Because so much of my memory here after just watching it is focused on the space battle. But Miller, well, he's got the body of this guy. The coroner is, as usual, a quirky character, like it seems on every show. So even in a realistic space show, we still have our quirky coroner. And he goes to identify, to this guy's place, and it turns out that basically this is like stolen identity. The real guy is out there doing something called slingshot, whatever, something like that. Now, all I can think of is that Star Trek movie. I think it was like Star Trek 4, where they go around the sun to and it was supposed to reverse time or something like that. They'd go back in time. So all I can think of is that this guy was doing something similar, not to go back in time, but some sort of slingshot around the sun situation. I don't know. Again, as people in the comment section have said, this show throws you in the deep end and expects you to just kind of figure things out, which is fine. It's like playing a video game without a tutorial. You just got to find your way. So he finds out that the guy that Julie Mao was going to date with was not the real guy. The real guy just died in this slingshot thing. So he goes back to the coroner, and they start doing scans of this guy's body, and they find there's this memory card type thing, little disc inside his leg, and they're also trying to find Havelock. Okay, so they find this thing, and then he's trying to find Havelock, who doesn't want to be found, but we all know what happened to Havelock. He got Moby Dicked right in the chest with a harpoon, and the madam from the brothel, the space brothel, finds him. She starts going through his pockets. Okay, so it's not a Empire Strikes Back water tank, but he's alive. Didn't see that coming. I really didn't. I mean, I guess you can, you take a harpoon to the chest and you can live. Yeah. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. You can. It just seemed like a pretty apparent death. They pinned him to the fucking wall, man. So I don't know, but he's alive for the second, for at least for now. So that's something that Miller's going to have to deal with, in a different episode, because they don't deal with it here. So let's get to our main thing. So everybody in this episode, I'm telling you, okay, so if I wasn't on the fence at all before about this show, I am all the way on board now, because this was really good. This went full on, nobody's safe situations. This show's got some balls for 4 episodes in. So Holden's with the captain, and they're being tracked by a ship that they don't know. I should have meant, from last episode, I did miss that there's that ship that they can't identify. It's not being hailed, and they think it's coming from the girl because they think it's OPA. And it ends up becoming, when they finally see it, it's like a bunch of it's a bunch of ships. And it's the same ships, basically, gotta stop saying basically. They're the same ships and style of the kind that took out the Canterbury. So I do think that it's interesting that these pilots, basically these fighters that she has, haven't really seen any combat. It's all simulated, but they're all really good at it. But I don't know. It makes me think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when those people are in the little video game ships and they're just kind of they're using, I don't know. But in the holding cell, you've got Holden's group, and they're trapped in there. The Alex, who was working for the Mars at one point, understands that battle stations kind of light is going on, and so they got to get strapped in. Everything's going down, and Alex just starts kind of freaking out. And it's our fake doctor that says, "Hey man, I got something for you. He's got some drugs. Smoke this, man. It's good for you." Flicks it to him. And then there's this just clunk. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. And this is just great. So you go around the room and there's just like everybody looking until they pan all the way around to dude's been decapitated. So our fake doctor, Mr. Royal Pains, he's gone. His head is gone. There's a big ass hole where his head was, where a bullet, like the artillery went through the ship, through the room, through his head, and kept on going. So they quickly, which is great. I love how these people know what they're doing in a crisis. They know how to handle things. They seal up the holes, but they also realize that they're going to run out of air. So Alex takes the sedative to give everybody else a chance to have more air and wait for rescue, which they don't really think is coming. And in the meantime, you've got Holden and them talking about like, okay, this is the whole thing about, these are the people that came and took us, or took out the Canterbury, that were on the Scapuli. This is all like, we don't know who these people are, where they're getting their technology. It's not Mars, it's not Earth, it's not the belt. So they start talking. They've been talking about that FEMA station, whatever, that everybody keeps thinking that Holden was at, or Armada was at too. So whatever's going on there, it feels like this was the start of whatever's going on, or at least the catalyst, the big thing that, because these people, like when we see later on, and they breach the ship and they've got like tech that nobody's seen before. And it's not like it's like, this isn't OPA. So the captain of this ship says Holden's got to be able to testify to this, so that everybody can know Mars isn't to blame for this. So there's this firefight. This is where we see the guy with the different tech. He comes from that station, and the way it sealed itself off, kind of like nanite technology and shit. I don't know. But that was really interesting. And they do have this great fight where Holden and his group, they finally go back for them. There's a deal that's made. And they make that break for the ship. And this whole sequence is one of the better I've seen in any TV sci-fi ever. Of them getting to the ship, everybody getting fired at. Then they get in there, and the whole effect with the ship just firing around, blasting its way out of the ship until they escape. Where, then they scuttle the ship, and that too was also like a great explosion as they fly away. And speaking of the explosions, I want to talk about this even from the very first episode, when the Canterbury blew up and it carried over, the debris field carried over to episode 2. They actually deal with the consequences of this kind of destruction in space. When the Death Star got blown up, more than once, twice, even the planets they got blasted in The Force Awakens and stuff. Nobody ever talks about the collateral damage that it causes when these huge structures blow up. And they tackle that in this, and that's a really cool addition to the authenticness and their attention to detail. So anyway, they're on their way out. Havelock is still alive, and somebody was pretending to be Julie Mao's date. So anyway, it's an incredible episode. I mean, people are willing to go down with the ship, literally. We've lost another character. One is still alive that I thought was dead. So this is damn great. This is damn great. I am so fully on board. I am not going to be able to do another episode though, because like I said, last video, I've got Preacher, I've got Sharp Objects, I've got I still gotta get some other stuff done today, and I gotta eat dinner somewhere along the line. And but I am gonna make a quick video. If nobody watches that, I'm gonna tell you on this. On Tuesday, I'll be doing a live video via my PlayStation for the first episode of the final season of the Telltale game, The Walking Dead final season. Episode 1 comes out Tuesday, so I'll be doing a live stream of that around probably 9 o'clock at night. That's Central Time. If anybody's interested in catching that, it will be live on YouTube around 9 o'clock. So, and it's about an hour and a half long, so like from 9 to 10:30. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for notifications of any of these other episodes. We will for sure have at least one episode tomorrow. And that's about it for this one. So this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying thank you for everybody that's watching these. I really appreciate it. I'm loving this show. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get to it. But anyway, have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.